Hey girlfriends, it's Lynsey and Justine from the Shameless Era with a very special episode for you today. It's just us.
It is just us.
It's
reunited.
just us, reunited. We've been having such a blast with our interviews over the last couple months, but the reason we're doing this podcast alone, just the two of us this week, is because you're due to have a baby.
I know.
Any day now.
Not quite due date, but like it could come any day.
Well,
that would be great.
If you're watching on YouTube, obviously you can see this beautiful belly we have here that's just full of a healthy baby.
Yeah.
Listener, Justine looks beautiful. You're healthy. It's been, the last 9 months feels like they've flown by, but not really. Like, how are you feeling?
Yeah. It's flown by, but not this last trimester.
For sure.
Yeah, the last 3 months have been slow. Pretty slow. Yeah, and then obviously if you've ever had a child or carried a child, you know that the last 2 weeks, 3 weeks are the ultimate test. Like they're just so tough mentally.
Are you getting all the texts from your family every day right now?
No.
Just like anything?
Because I told them to shut it with Aspen. When I went through this with my second, I was like, guys, listen, I know you care. And I love you for loving me so hard. Mm-hmm. I know it's coming from the best place. But stop. I will tell you when I'm in labor, because the constant waking up and getting 10 texts from people being like, hey, how are you feeling? How's it going? Mm-hmm. And you're like,
I just rest
same as
easy.
Yesterday.
I just rest easy knowing that I'll know right away because I'm on the list.
Yeah,
I have jobs and things to do. As of this airing, this will be a few weeks from now when this episode airs, but this week my husband's in Kelowna and I specifically did not go with him because I'm on baby duty. I am here for you, girlfriend. I have got you. I cannot wait to meet this new little tribe member that we get.
I'm super, super excited. I'm, I'm on the waiting game. Yeah. And that's the worst part. So you texted me this morning and asked how I was feeling. And I'm like, I'm so grumpy because I thought I was going into labor last night.
Right.
I was just so crampy. And then I woke up this morning and I was like, oh, I don't feel great, but I don't feel, it's not labor. So awesome. And that's frustrating because you're just constantly, is this it? Is this it? Is this it? And you forget what it's like until you feel it again. And then I know I'll know. But right now I'm like, oh, maybe. No, that's just gas.
Or you know what? It's really, of course, I totally understand. But it is so exciting. And, when women have scheduled C-sections, they go in, they know what time. And I kind of sort of experienced this with a family member who had their babies like that. And it was just so crazy having those conversations about Friday at 10 a.m. baby will be here. Whereas that whole waiting game of just it could be on the due date, it could be 2 days before, it could be a week later.
So I had that with Aria because I was induced with her. So we knew going in that Monday morning that they were breaking my water. And so we knew that day we were having a baby. So and that was weird driving to the hospital being like, oh babe, this is, and that was our first. So we were like, this is it. This is, and I loved that we got that moment. We got our last solo car ride together. But it's, the waiting game is tough. And, I have midwives this time around as I did with Aspen. And I went overdue with both babies. So I'm assuming I'm going to go overdue. That's what I've been telling myself, at least from the very beginning of my pregnancy, just so I'm not disappointed.
I know you have, and I have just been intentionally putting out the opposite vibe of just maybe a couple days early.
Yeah.
That
would be now.
The baby healthily now. And so I'm just anytime now, world, anytime, baby, you're ready to make your big debut, we're ready for you.
Yeah, baby was ready a week and a half ago.
Totally.
Fully cooked, good to go. So I gave my midwives June 15th is my if baby doesn't come naturally by June 15th, which puts me about a week overdue, I'm we'll start talking about, doing
options.
Finding another way to get baby to want to come out. But so that's what's today, we're recording early, but yeah, so it's still 10 days from now. So
no, baby's gonna come, I believe, sometime in the next like 4 or 5 days. We have industry night tomorrow night, and it'd be really sweet if Ty could come.
Yeah.
So if baby could just wait,
right,
another couple days, that'd be great.
Or Ty could bring me home French fries tomorrow night from industry night, and then I could go into labor with French fries.
What
like
a
that
magical
would make me happy.
experience that would be.
Yeah, French fries and gravy
and nuggies.
Yeah, that would
just
be nice.
In your pool, having
in the pool. So sanitary. Yeah. But no, Ty, even this morning when we woke up, he's like, want to go for a quad ride? I was like, no, not yet.
Dude, I can't believe you're about to like be in labor again.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm gonna share this story because it's super funny. But
do I know it?
Oh, of course you know it. You were there. About a year ago, like basically from now, we were sitting in Craft in Edmonton for a girls' weekend, and we were having the best time. The craziest time, the weirdest time, because it was the weekend of the fires, but it was you, Shannon, and I. We were going to Shania Twain, or we had gone to Shania Twain the night before, I think.
Maybe.
Yeah, we went to Shania the night before, and so we went to Craft for like morning Caesars and brunch. And
we got day drunk.
We got pretty day drunk, and we were talking about your experience delivering Aspen, and you said you had it on film, and I was like, dude, can I watch that? And so you let me watch the video in the middle of Craft on a Saturday morning. Nobody was around. It's not like anybody could have peered over my shoulder. I made sure it was private, and like I'm watching this thing just bawling, like most beautiful thing I've ever seen in my life. And so I feel like now that I've seen that video, I'm not worried about you, babe. You're gonna crush this.
I've rewatched that a few times recently just to be like, okay. And like, my sister did such a good job. I had no idea she was taking the video, but she was like in there. Like you can see Aspen.
It's an incredible video.
Be born. And but the moment she comes out, you hear me say, "Is she okay?" And then we, go skin to skin. But I rewatch that and I feel it every time, and that gives me reassurance to be like, okay, we're gonna feel that again. So it's good.
There's so much to look forward to. And the other day, you and I were talking about the fact that you don't know the gender of this baby, and this is the only baby you've ever had where you didn't know the gender ahead of time. And as somebody who both babies, I didn't know the gender, I'm just so excited for that magical moment with you and your husband where it just comes out, and it's
yeah. So
I can't wait.
When we found out, and like we were pregnant, and it's the third pregnancy, so it's like nothing's exciting. Like, I mean, the end result is exciting,
exactly.
Of course.
You know what you're getting.
But like the body changes, the mood swings, like nothing's new and exciting here. So we had kind of talked to each other, and we're like, what could we do differently?
Right.
This pregnancy that we didn't do with the girls, and we weren't like really gender reveal. Like, I don't want to throw a party, honestly. Like, that seems like way too much work to throw like a gender reveal party.
You don't strike me as that kind of a person anyways. I mean, I would have supported it if you wanted to do it, but like...
Well, no, because I have such bad FOMO to watch everyone drink at a party that I'm hosting, and then I just have to sit there like a blob. I'm like, this is uncool. So anyway, we were like, let's not find out the gender. And then we had a few specialist appointments in Edmonton just to make sure everything was okay. And Tyler almost found out. And I gave him the go-ahead because one of my best friends, Mallory, gave me a really good piece of advice when she was pregnant with her third. And she found out by herself on her third if she was having a boy or a girl. She already had 2 boys. And she called me and she let me know. But she was like, I had to know because I really wanted a girl. And she was honest about it. Yeah. And she's like, I would have been okay if we had a boy, but I really wanted that girl. And I didn't want those first few minutes or moments to be disappointment.
Right.
So I was like, oh, that's so smart. Like, I never thought of it that way. And so I gave Tyler the opportunity to find out. So that, because we already have 2 girls. I know, like, he's secretly hoping for a boy. He'll be so ecstatic if it's a girl, of course. And that's what's meant to be our sweetie squad. But he, like every guy wants his little dude and every girl wants her little girl. Like it's just, So I gave him the opportunity to find out, and he's like, I can't keep the secret.
No,
yeah.
Like we talked about that, and I remember just being like, Justine, the whole office would know in about T-minus 20 minutes. He'd be so excited.
Well, like the office knew I was pregnant.
No, I know.
Before like half of our
family.
Yeah. Tyler can't keep a secret, especially when he's excited.
Oh, he's so excited, and like I remember when you first found out, and you know, let's get back to that conversation in a minute, but I could feel it in him. The second I entered his orbit, I could feel his just like energy of just like, he wanted this baby so bad. And it just like, yeah, we had a lot of really, really intimate conversations about just how this changed our future, you and I, and just the things that we were working on. And I know that like when you first found out you were pregnant, that was one of your immediate thoughts was like, well, how does this affect me and Lynsey? And I can't believe that I have a friendship in my life that like, this is why we're truly wives.
Yeah.
Because it just like, you were so worried and concerned. And I just like, it kind of broke my heart immediately because I was just like, girl, we got this. Like, we got this. And have your babies. Like, I'm here. I got you.
Have your babies.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Tyler would have a village. If I like gave him the green light, he would definitely, like, we would have a hockey team for sure. But, yeah, we did a podcast about this, I think, in season 1.
We've talked about it before,
so I'm not going to go deep into it, but, like, I wasn't stoked to find out I was pregnant. I feel like every time I've gotten pregnant in life, I've been, like, excelling. And then it's like, pregnant, and I'm like, cool. So I obviously went through a lot. If you want to hear about that, you know, go and listen to that older podcast. But Tyler was so excited.
Yeah.
And that weighed on me heavily of like how badly he wanted it. And I'm obviously so grateful that we made the decision we did, and here we are now. But I think as like moms, we have different fears, right? So it's okay to go through that, but now I'm in like the fear stage of like a toddler and an infant.
Yeah,
it's okay.
Honestly though, babe, those fears are so valid for sure, and it's going to be such a huge change in the sense of like there was such a big gap between Aria and Aspen. So when you had Aspen, Aria was already in school, so it wasn't like you ever really experienced the kind of 2 kids at home type thing. And it is a huge adjustment, but like it really isn't that hard. Like
and I'm blessed.
You're an amazing mom. Like
so.
You've got this. So.
Yeah, and we have help. Like I
have
have Angie,
help,
I have
you have a village.
I do. Yeah, it's been like slow and building here, but I do. I have a wicked village here. Now that I have like even a handful of people I can call if I need help. So that is definitely reassuring and sits in the back of my mind for the days that I need it. But yeah, I mean, and we talked about this too, about not knowing the gender. I'm like, I just don't know who this person is. And with the girls, I knew that they were girls. They had names, like, so they kind of almost had like a personality or like a persona to me when they were coming into the world. Whereas this one, I'm like, hey buddy, you know, like but like we're so connected, but just in a different way. And I am, the anticipation is driving me through the freaking.
It's gonna be so worth it, babe. Like I'm so excited for your family. I'm so excited to get the call and just hear the news. And I really do think that you're gonna love the experience of not knowing this time, and you're gonna look back on it and be like, oh, I'm so thankful that I made that decision, because it was so cool when baby came and it was just like, oh my God, here you are. Yeah. You know, and that there's that instant connection of just like, wow, your earth side, you know?
Yeah. So. I think I consider myself quite blessed that I've got to experience so many parts of pregnancy and motherhood in different ways of like C-section, home birth, you know, finding the gender, not finding the gender, having kids far apart, having kids close together, like
good for you.
The whole kit and caboodle.
That's
I mean,
awesome. Good for you, babe.
We'll see, right? Just get get to experience it all.
Well, it's cool because you've stepped outside of your comfort zones in the sense of like with Aspen, you could have very easily said, no, I'm going to have another C-section. That's just what I know.
Mm-hmm.
But you chose to have the complete opposite experience. And it was beautiful and amazing. And, you know, and this one will be whatever that will be.
Totally.
And you're ready for it and you're strong and you look beautiful and healthy. And like, it's, like I said, I'm not worried about you. You got this, babe.
I mean, it's one of those things that, you know, if you've done it once, you can go through it again, obviously. So yeah.
Any listeners out there super happy to never go through it again? Me? Just me? Yeah.
Yeah. My midwife, AXA, bless. Like, I mean, I think she listens. So I'll say this so, like, not creepy, but I like imprinted on her when I had Aspen. I did. I got like really attached to her because she believed in me through like a really, really scary, hard thing. And I trust that woman with my life and my baby's lives. But she gave me the best piece of advice that anytime I know of a mom about to go into labor or give birth, I try to pass along, because it's not one of those annoying pieces of advice like sleep when the baby sleeps or something.
Right. That is annoying.
It's
advice.
so annoying. She grabbed my face while I was like in sweaty all fours labor because I was about to go into a contraction with Aspen. And I was like, not one more. She like grabbed my face and squeezed it really tight. And she said, no, dear, not one more, one less until you meet that baby.
Oh, AXA!
Yeah. And I was like, okay, one less.
That's right. Oh.
Yeah, so I have like that, like literally wrote on a poster in the birthing room because it's like one less.
I have been in your birthing room. Can you please share some details about what you have done in there? Because it's really beautiful, and I just think it's so important for the listener to hear how you've been preparing for this experience you're about to have.
Yeah, I'll definitely should post some pictures to our Instagram page. Here.
Yeah, you have access to the Instagram, babe. You gotta just share all the stuff.
Yeah, I will. I'll do that, and I'll share pictures of the nursery as well.
Oh, yeah, the nursery? Okay, stop it. The nursery is stunning.
It's like a little fort, I feel like
it's
tree
like
fort.
A little fairy forest fort. Like,
with some cows.
It's gorgeous.
But yeah, so the birthing room, we got a birthing pool with Aspen, and I'm really happy I didn't get rid of it because they are a little more expensive. So that was nice. We already had that. So that's been inflated for like 3 months probably now.
It's ready to go.
I have a rocking chair. I found when I labored with Aspen, I actually did have her in the pool. I had her in our bed, which was prepared for birthing. So we'll see. We're going to try for the pool this time. So just kind of all the things like a birthing ball. I have re-secured my squat bar because it wasn't very secure.
Nice.
It wouldn't have. Lynsey went in and she like shook it. She's like, I don't know if that's going to hold you.
Might need a little stud finder in there.
But yeah, so a squat bar, and then I had actually Lynsey's girls were over too. So they wrote me some inspirational messages on posters and affirmations, and I had Aria, my oldest, write me out some things and draw me some pictures. So those are all like pasted on my wall in there just so I can look, and like someone, even Sophs is like, Auntie, we love you so much. You got this. And it's just for those moments when you're like, I don't got this, and you can catch a glimpse of something being like, someone believes in me in this moment, and that extra little push. And then I have a bunch of labor charts.
Yeah, I need to write some affirmations to stick up on your wall because it really is so beautiful, and I love that you took the time to do that with the girls and just put that up. And I just know that you're gonna have such a beautiful experience. You'll have the incense going and the music going and the candles lit and like,
it was nice. And like, I already have a birth playlist from Aspen, so I just added some new stuff to it, some like new like giddy up and go songs. And it's funny though, when this time around I've been prepared honestly for this home birth for like months, but I knew what we needed, what we didn't really need, having been through it before. But when we first bought the home birth supplies, our first time around, Tyler was like, "What's the cookie sheets for?"
Ooh, what is the cookie sheets
And Aspen's
for?
like, or Axa was like, "Well, if she's like up walking in the kitchen and then all of a sudden she has to push, we need something to catch the baby on." So
Oh wow.
just because it's more sterile, right?
Right.
Than like a floor or whatever.
Yeah.
And just like the random bowl for your placenta after, and it's just like
This is so funny.
Yeah.
All considerations I've definitely never made in childbirth. Like, oh, I need a cookie sheet and a bowl for the placenta, and I've been busy baking a baby for the last 9 months, so I might as well just get out all my kitchen supplies.
It's basically,
and, like,
yeah, I have like puppy pads, like giant puppy pads. Those are instead of like hospital pads. Those are in lieu.
Yeah.
Shower curtains for the bed.
Oh.
So that's what saves your bed is you like buy a throwaway pair of sheets. Like I got mine off Amazon for like $20 that we'll never use again.
Mm-hmm.
You like shower curtain sheet, water shower curtain.
Wow.
Like, yeah.
Okay.
So it's you're just like turn your little area into like a mini little hospital room, but not cold and sterile. I mean, it's as sterile as it can be, but it's not cold.
Oh, man, girlfriend, I just like, wow. Like I said, these are all thoughts and considerations I definitely never ever had before. And I mean, I just knew I was going to the hospital with both the girls. Just like, yeah, I'm going. I'll take the drugs. I'll just submit to the process, and I just want to get this baby out. But you are making it such an experience and such a memory, and living in this home where you've delivered your children.
I know.
Like,
I don't think I'll ever
gosh.
be able to like fully leave this house. Like,
You'll
it'll
leave when
always...
we're moving to a sweet compound in the mountains together.
Right.
Like...
Or I'll just like cut out our bedroom and take the bedroom. But yeah, no, it's honestly I'll get a little, it's not controversial, but with Aspen, that's why I did a home birth. I because of COVID. I didn't want to go to the hospital.
That's fair.
I was petrified. For a lot of reasons.
Mm-hmm.
And if you want to reach out, I'll share them personally. But I was like, no, I can't go to the hospital unless I like need to for me or baby. Like that's kind of it. And it turned out to be the most beautiful experience I've had.
Totally.
Just, in itself. But I think that like after you feel like Superwoman, like you just feel invincible. Like
I'm so excited for like, so I vividly remember when you told me you were pregnant, and
it was the classiest place. I told her.
Just having a quick break from industry night behind a bottle shed behind Shark Club. If you've ever been to that bottle shed, you know what we were doing. So
I needed a bottle shed memory.
Exactly. And I just remember thinking like 9 months is such a short blip on the radar of time in our lives, and you're 5 years younger than I am. Mm-hmm. So you are in a different space in your life in the sense of like, I always knew that this was a possibility in the sense of like how our relationship and our friendship was developing, that like you very well could have another baby. And I knew that in the moment I would react in a just way of love and support, but also at the same time I was also a little bit just like, oh fuck, all right, like saddle up, Lynsey. Just everything that we had been doing at the time kind of got flipped on its head just a little bit. And at the same time, I actually think it was perfect timing in my life, because otherwise I would have just continued to churn the momentum for us. Yeah. And we would have gotten busier and busier and more stuff on the go.
Divine timing.
Divine timing is right. And I look back on this last year of just like how we've spent our time together and what we've done. And I honestly really needed the pace, the slower pace. Yes. The, listener, like this podcast is, we don't stress over this. We don't, it's not a worry or concern for us. If we don't have a guest or something, like we're not stressed about it because this is for us. Like this is ours to share in a way that we have the energy to share.
It's like therapy for us.
It is like therapy for us.
And this is not to like say we don't appreciate every listener or subscriber that listens to our podcast. But when we started, we were like, meh. If one person listens, great.
Totally.
Like we were just so light about it that it was like, this is just something we want to do to fill our cup. And if we can get to one person or give a piece of advice to one person, then that's great. Then mission complete. And humbly, Lynsey and I have ran into people in public in Grand Prairie mostly, and just like people are so appreciative of our podcast, and we're so appreciative back that people are receiving us and listening. So
absolutely. And like it just, I knew when you were in tears the one day and you were just like, I just don't want everything between us to change. And we just had so much momentum at that time that I think both of our dreams were just aligning in such a way that like you got pregnant and I think you felt like you were letting me down. And I needed to let you know that in no way, shape, or form were you letting me down, because I love you more than anything in the world. And this is your life and your family. And I have always got you. And if that just means that we just move at a different pace, then amazing. I'm okay with that. And to be honest, I needed it. I look back on these last 9 months and think of how far I've come, just as far as settling into my own kind of nesting and life. And I've done a lot of that through you and watching you do that. And so I really think that it was divine timing. And even though you weren't expecting it and like there was a few tears right off the bat, like it just, you're going to be on the other side again so soon. Yeah. And I mean, whether or not you guys have more babies remains to be seen. She's shaking her head no. But I mean, it's whatever. I just am so grateful to be building my life with you that we'll just always get through anything.
We will, and no to that. I've been like, watch, no.
Yeah, that's your declaration.
Yeah, because I can't say that, because the last time I said no, the universe was like,
here's baby number 3.
Right? And it's actually crazy. Like, I will share, like, Tyler and I tried to have a second after Aria a lot. A lot.
we were trying all the time.
No, but for quite a while, like quite a few years, we've tried to have a second, and it just never happened. And we thought about adopting, and then we obviously moved and got pregnant. So I think it's my house. Because funny story, when my midwives came to do my home visit with Aspen 2 years ago, the people who lived in our house prior to us also did a home birth there.
Oh wow! With
the midwives. And so I think my house has like baby juju. So if you're interested, I rent a room. No, just kidding.
She's got lots of rooms. Rooms on rooms.
But yeah, so it's been crazy though to think back when I was pregnant with Aria. I was 24.
Right.
And I had her when I was actually 23, turning 24. So I was pregnant through most of my 23rd year of life. Oh, wow. Right? Yeah. And Aspen, I was 30?
Yeah.
30? Yeah, anyway. But to see how much my body has changed in pregnancy. So not even like the stretch marks and all, like the exterior stuff, but like how I carry a pregnancy is like night and day. Because I can remember, granted with Aria, I didn't have other kids to chase after, and it was a lot more relaxed.
Your first is such a different pregnancy.
I gained a lot more weight, but I was a lot healthier. Like, in the sense of like my sleep, my body felt pretty good up until that last couple of weeks.
You want to know one thing that's funny that I think is worth noting, because these are just not conversations that we have. In 9 months, I have never asked you how much weight you've gained.
Yeah.
Nice. I've literally never asked you that.
I definitely will share. So I started the pregnancy out, I was around like 115, which is usually my weight.
Yeah, you're
like
a tiny babe.
Yeah, I've weighed 115 pounds since I was 16, and it doesn't really fluctuate. And now I think the last time I weighed myself, I was like 147.
Awesome.
So yeah, I mean,
such
like
a healthy weight gain.
Yeah, it was
so great.
Aria, I gained 80 pounds.
No.
Yeah, it was a lot. I slept a lot, and I really like cheeseburgers.
Picture that.
No, it wasn't great.
Holy man.
It wasn't, no.
I mean, don't get me wrong, like, I've been there in the sense of, like, coming out of college, I was 30 pounds heavier than I am right now. We've all been there, girlfriends. We have all been there. But, yeah, it's
but
just
everyone was like, oh, it's baby. And then after she came out, I was like, there's cheeseburger left.
Right.
It
well,
wasn't
honestly,
all baby.
like, after seeing you, knowing you since, so, like, I don't know, a week after you and I
It
met
would have been
for the
about
very
3
first
weeks.
time, 3 weeks.
Yeah.
You told me you were pregnant with Aspen.
Yeah.
And so, like, this is the best part about our friendship and relationship is, like, it wasn't built on going out and partying and having a good time. It was built on, like, soulful coffee dates and hanging out and talking about life and, like, talking about all the things that, like, I don't often get a chance to talk about because, like, we don't know any of the same people. And so it was just, we were having these amazing conversations just about who we used to be, how we grew up, the women we want to become, our ambitions, our dreams, our, you know, thoughts and goals for our daughters and our families. And so I've already been through a pregnancy with Justine before, and our friendship only grew stronger throughout it. And then, you know, we had that gap year between babies where that was a great time. And that's what we were, I think, maybe grieving a little bit of saying goodbye to.
You just started.
Right, we just got going.
Yeah.
But I mean, I just knew right away. I was like, this is just not even a thing. We're just going to settle into this next year, and we're going to make decisions for us that support you having this baby. And like I can't believe that you're already here.
I know.
Like,
it does. It feels, you know, it's always that thing that how time plays with you, right? You reflect back, you're like, whoa, that kind of felt like yesterday. And it did. Like, it literally, I can vividly, like, remember you walking into Shark Club that night and you looked at me and I was like, we need to talk. And you were like, okay. And we like went outside and I hid behind the bottle shed and just instant tears. And she's like, you're pregnant.
Yeah.
And I was like, ah. And but it does. It feels like that was like maybe 2 industry nights ago, and it wasn't. Definitely.
It was like our 3rd industry night. So, and here we are on 11 as of tomorrow.
That's exciting.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's so exciting. It's been such a cool year of just like, and that's just it, you know, like you've shown up to so many industry nights throughout this pregnancy. You've hosted them when I couldn't be there, and
I feel like so many people are invested in the pregnancy too, in the random public, which is great. Like, I'll run into people and they'll be like, oh, still no baby yet.
But that's the exciting part is like nobody knows, is it a boy or a girl? And there'll be a big announcement and like,
oh yeah.
But no, it's been a cool experience in that regard. And I know that when you were pregnant with Aspen, you had a very different experience because you didn't really know a lot of people in Grand Prairie yet. You weren't out in the public. You weren't hosting a massive event every single month.
Nothing to look forward to,
well,
essentially.
And you and I our friendship was growing, but we weren't even remotely on the level that we are on now. And so like, I'm sure I didn't know a lot of what you were going through at the time, but do you want to just touch on, to the extent that you're comfortable with, your journey with postpartum? Because it did get dark for a little while there. And how is it different this time?
Yeah, so my postpartum sucks. And I kind of have always known that if I chose to have babies, it was going to be something that I faced. My mom went through it pretty bad, so I knew I was at a little bit of a higher risk for it. Aria, I got anxiety hard, but it was only about her.
Oh, okay.
Excuse me. I would like think about an escape plan going into Walmart in case like someone came in with a gun. Like just these like random things that were very unlikely to happen. But I think that was like a protection mode. So that was Aria. Everything else I stayed pretty even keel on. Aspen was different. I don't know why, and I don't know if it's because I had her naturally and we went through like such an intimate experience because the baby does a lot in birth as well, right? I got instantly super protective of her. Like I didn't want my mom, my dad, my mother-in-law to hold her. I had a really hard time with Tyler even holding her or Aria coming near her. And then it got really dark. Then it got, because she was fussy. Like Aria was a great baby. Aspen has been independent since the moment she came out.
Middle child.
She is. And I should have known. She's like middle child to a T. But she went through like about a good, I would say 3 to 4 weeks where she didn't sleep very well. She was crying. Ty was back working full time. And I just lost it mentally. I would just cry. I would hide in the closet. I had a few suicidal thoughts. I never followed through. And I've always had the honest conversation with myself of like, that's not the way I would ever want myself to go. So if it ever got serious, I would have talked to somebody, I hope anyway. But it did, like they crossed my mind, and it wasn't that I hated my life or I was unhappy. It was that I thought my family would be better without me. I thought that I wasn't doing a good enough job. I thought I wasn't keeping calm enough for my baby, and that someone else could do a better job raising her than me. So these were like the dark circle of thoughts that I would have, and then I would have the guilt, and then it would just like trample on, and then Arya would come home from school or from her friends or whatever, and I wasn't showing up for Arya like I used to show up for her when she was an only child. So then I had guilt about that, and it just like all started to add on. And I love my husband, bless his heart, but he is not an emotional person. So to talk to him about dark emotions doesn't really happen. That he doesn't really know how, to be honest, and that's okay. Like we all have things to work on, right? But he tends to like want to fix it. And I can appreciate that. He wants to make me feel better and not sad. But sometimes you can't fix it. Sometimes you have to sit in it, right? Or just listen to it or whatever that may be. So finding out, I made it through the other side. Things started to get a little lighter. I got help, which was huge. And then I went through a whole other thing of like, Aspen's gonna love Angie more than me.
Oh, man, I remember those conversations, and I mean, it's funny sometimes in our friendship because it is relatively new in the grand scheme of life. I am cautious with like how far I can, like push or like how blunt I can be with things.
Yeah.
But I remember when you were telling me about like your fears and worries with her getting closer to Angie than you, I so badly just wanted to like clap back to reality, mama. Like you are her mother, like, and just. But I could see how much it was hurting you.
I felt so guilty. I'm like, how dare I? Like, I can raise my own child.
Yeah.
Like, I still do sometimes. Sometimes I'll be like cleaning my floors, and Angie's like, oh, we're going to the park. And I'm like, but I have to realize, like, I need those breaks. Like, I need them. And Aspen needs them. And like, it makes for like a happier and healthier home. And now to have watched Angie and Aspen bond.
Yeah.
I love that. Like Aspen has another woman in her village to like have her back. And
when you have like reliable help and childcare, it makes you a better mom, because then you can do the things that you need to do to remain yourself, to still be Justine, to get out there and explore your passions and be ambitious. And like, without the childcare that I had as, a young mom, I definitely would not be the woman I am today. Yeah. I credit everything to the incredible angel Michelle, who helped raise my daughters. And my daughters have always had a very beautiful, special relationship with Shell. And it's still safe for them. It's still safe for them. And I think that it's so wonderful that Angie has come into your life. And I saw it immediately make a difference for you though too. And like, once you got Angie into your life and you could start getting out and doing things and exploring your passions again. Like, you're not somebody that can just be at home and have no contact with the rest of the world. Like, you have things you're excited about and that you want to share. And so
I'm a huge FOMO person. Like right? Like it's honestly, I'll so admit it. Like, it's hard for me to watch people go experience things and not be able to do it myself. And obviously there's things I'm not going to be able to experience, and that's okay. I'm okay to miss out sometimes. But when you are, I don't want to say stuck, but when you're stuck in that routine of like, you always have an infant with you, it can be drowning. Like, like or suffocating. Like, it's hard. And I think that, like, it comes with guilt of being like, I need a break from my kids. Like, that's not the easiest thing to say, but you have to really, like, for me anyway, I have to walk myself through the process of like, it's not because I don't love my kids. It's not because I don't want to spend time with them and build memories with them. It's because if I want to build happy, healthy memories with them, I gotta go make myself happy sometimes too, or else I'm gonna be like a raging bitch to them. And that's not always,
Well, and it's like, there are lots of times my sister's been stressed out. She's got 2 little kids, and she had 2 under 2.
Yeah.
So like just
Kudos.
back to back. And I remember she'd call and just be like, Lynsey, like I have so much to do, like all these things, and I got 2 little kids, and you know, I felt her stress and frustration, but I remember saying to her, Candace, your kids need a happy mom. They don't need a productive mom.
Yeah.
Like, don't worry about the to-do list. Don't worry about the things. And like, you know, your form of stress relief is like cleaning and reorganizing your house. So I get that. Like, I'm not going to tell you like, don't clean your house. Like, you need to clean your house because it just makes you feel better.
I would be vibrating.
You would. So you're not that kind of mom that can just like lean into just like the chaos.
But I don't ever judge a chaos mom in their house.
Course.
I'm like, I wish I could be more.
But
like,
you're the mom that will spend an entire weekend setting up for your daughter's 9th birthday sleepover party and have 6 little girls come spend the night at your house at 39 weeks pregnant. And she just rock stars it out. Like, she had Maisie on the weekend, and I was so worried that my daughter's blood sugars were gonna just keep her up all night. And she's like, Lynsey, I'm up all night anyway.
Well, yeah, literally. So, like, I'm like, it's fine. Maybe
to which case I was like, touche.
Maybe the stairs will help the labor. Exactly. But yeah,
you're a great mom. Like, it's just, you know, there shouldn't be any guilt ever.
You're a great mom too. But it is. We guilt ourselves. Like, I do. I mean, I catch myself in the circle of like, I do, and I have to talk myself out of it. I honestly do quite a bit, but that's okay. It's a work in progress. I think that I want to show up better for them, and that's okay. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, I know I already show up great for them most of the time, but I want to do better in moments, because I'll share. Oh, it's so bad. Guys, this is going to be raw. Don't call CPS on me, okay? So, yeah, this was like 2 days ago. Aria had a little bit of a meltdown. She's 9. She's a drama queen.
Yeah.
She is like drama queen. So just to like preface this situation, she's wearing a tensor bandage on her ankle that she did not hurt.
Oh, okay.
And it's been on for like
just
4 days.
Yeah.
Just because she's like, I like it.
Yeah. Okay.
That's her. So she's eating a Starburst in her bed on Monday and comes out of her room just like waterworks. And I'm like, what's up, dude? She's like, Mom, my spacer half fell out. I'm like, oh, how? My Starburst got stuck. So I look, and she got the Starburst out, but her spacer was like halfway up. I'm like, okay, I guess I'll call the dentist. So I'm on the phone with the dentist trying to talk to them, and I don't know why children are the worst when you're on the phone. And then she just starts having this meltdown. Even though she had already said she wasn't in pain, she just starts like freaking out, going like full drama queen. And I'm trying to look in her mouth because the dentist is asking me questions, and she's having a freak out.
Yep.
And I can't freak out back because I'm on the phone.
That's
so
right.
What do? I flip her the middle fingers right in her face. And I like scrunch my face and I like flip her the bird with both hands. And then I walk away, and I'm like, shit. I just literally flipped the bird to my 9-year-old. But like, and then I like had this like out of body moment where I like seen probably what I looked like doing it, and I'm like,
no, honestly,
way to go, Justine. Real mature moment there. Like,
I love it so much because literally just like 2 weeks ago I told Maisie to quit her bitching. Like, she was just whining and complaining about stuff, and I just looked at her. I was like, Maisie, quit your bitching. And she looked at me and just like tears welled up in her eyes, and she's like, Mom, you just swore at me. And I'm like, honey, like, I mean, it's a turn of phrase. Like, it just, she was pissed at me.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And Ari's like, did you mean it? And I'm like, no.
But I mean, I think that just speaks to the new stages we're entering with our kids. And like, you know, it's just, even with this baby, it's like, you're gonna have lots of those moments where you're just in it. Like, you're so in it. And the reminder is that, hey, I'm in it. Like, this is just a time of life that I'm in. Like, why would I waste my time feeling like FOMO or whatever? Like, just, this is just where I'm at, and this isn't gonna be forever, but here's this super fucking cool human that I brought into the world.
Yeah,
you know,
100%. No, all is good.
Full disclosure, I have to pee so badly.
Yeah, and we're coming up on 45.
Exactly. So I mean,
she can't leave me here alone. You guys don't want to have that conversation. conversation.
Well, I mean, unless you have secrets that you want to share on the
don't.
podcast.
I don't.
Yeah.
No secrets.
Okay.
Not any
I mean,
right
I
now.
would listen to it and hear it.
You know
anyways,
all my
so,
secrets.
Yeah.
You literally know all my secrets.
We'll hold on to a few of those for a while, so.
Yeah, well, hopefully for like forever for some of them. But I do. I have a quote.
You got a quote for
I
us?
do. Let me pull it up because I just took
I was
a
so
screenshot.
impressed that you brought a quote because since we didn't have a guest today and they've been bringing the quotes, I didn't even think about it.
Yeah, I know you have to use the bathroom, so I'll be quick. But I want to before we close out too, because we will be. Are we going to be a couple weeks, or are we going to be right back?
Oh, we'll be right back.
Okay,
but next podcast you listen to,
okay.
You will hear the big announcement.
The crying of a baby. No, okay. Here we go to close us out. From this is called The Last Time. The author is unknown. From the moment you hold your baby in your arms, you will never be the same. You might long for the person you were before when you had freedom and time and nothing in particular to worry about. You will know tiredness like you have never known before, and days will run into days that are exactly the same, full of feeding and burping, whining and fighting, nap or lack of naps. It might seem like a never-ending cycle, but don't forget there is a last time for everything. There will come a time when you will feed your baby for the very last time. They will fall asleep on you after a long day, and it will be the last time you ever hold your sleeping child. One day you will carry them on your hip and then set them down and never pick them up that way again. You will scrub their hair in the bath one night, and from that day on, they will want to bathe alone. They will hold your hand to cross the road, then never reach for it again. They will creep into your room at midnight for cuddles, and it will be the last night you ever wake for this. One afternoon, you will sing the wheels on the bus and do all the actions, then you will never sing that song again. They will kiss you goodbye at the school gate. The next day, they will ask you to walk to the gate alone. You will read a final bedtime story and wipe the last dirty face. They will one day run to you with arms raised for the very last time. The thing is, you won't even know it is the last time until there is no more times. And even then, it will take you a while to realize. So while you're living in these times, remember there are only so many of them, and when they're gone, you will earn for just one more day of them for one last time.
Oh. I've had so many lasts already.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh
So that's where I'm sitting. Is
Oh.
that's my surrender. Is one day, if I am blessed to be 80, I am going to wish this day back.
That's right.
Struggle and all.
Oh my gosh, babe. God, I'm so excited. I'm so excited. Like I said, you look absolutely beautiful. You are absolutely glowing. This baby is so loved already.
Thanks.
And stay tuned, listener, because next week we'll have all the exciting news
Yeah,
for you.
hopefully there will be a baby.
Well, and I just can't wait to hear the birth story and how it goes.
Yeah,
It's going to be so awesome.
Yeah, we're not going to podcast that, but...
Yeah, I mean...
we'll tell the story, but not the live birth.
No, that's fair. We probably shouldn't do that.
We might get canceled.
We'll just watch it in the middle of craft again. By the time
we'll have a viewing party.
Yeah,
that's what we could do. All right. See you, girlfriends. Thanks for tuning in.
Thanks so much. Have a great day.